Let's start off by saying Barakatah Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakha Kodash. Welcome to part 2, the fall of Babylon the Great, America/America. I was just recording, and when I got to a certain point, it cut off. So like the last 10 minutes of that last video, there's no audio. I don't know why the OBS stopped working. Because then when I X'd out of it and turned it back on, it started working again. So I don't know what the hell is going on. But anyway, I'm gonna try to recap from where I left off. Left off in the 14th verse. I'm gonna start off there. So this is Revelation 18 and 14, and what I was saying was this is another good verse here. It says, "And the fruits that thy soul lusted after are departed from thee, and all things which are dainty and goodly are departed from thee, and thou shalt find them no more at all." And pretty much, this place is a place of excessive eating. Excessive. Everything is in excess. Everything is in excess. I mean, you name it, it's in excess. And that's why people love this place. Now, when we look up this word dainty, right? Check this out. I want y'all to check this out. The word dainty is leparos, right? And the word leparos is from lipos, grease. This is where you get like the term liposuction. Liposuction is when they suck out the fat from under somebody's skin or something along those lines. And this place is like that because of the horrible diet and the wantonness, the undiscipline of this place, because they don't teach discipline here. They pretty much teach consumption, whether it's physical consumption of goods, out there, buying, or consumption of eating. It says things which pertain to a sumptuous and delicate style of living. It says lipos, grease, fat. See? So this place is like that. That's where you got your McDonald's and your Burger Kings and your, and your Wendy's and your Popeye's chickens, and all of this demonic food that has no health benefits. The only thing that's good about it is it tastes good, and that's it. It has no health benefits to it. It doesn't do you any good. It doesn't help your body in any fashion or way, And the next one is the word goodly, and that's lampros, which is shining, brilliant, clear, transparent, splendid, magnificent, splendid in things, an example, luxuries or elegancies in dress or style. And that's why the main thing that they push out is what? To dress up, especially the people that have money. They're decked out. They wear their $3,000 suits, their $100 or $300 shirts, $100 ties, Then you got $1,000 for each shoe. You got your cufflinks. You got your watches and your rings and your bracelets and the necklaces and the earrings and the. So this place is a place of total luxury. That's why the scriptures call it the golden city. And this place is on a downward spiral to be destroyed. So they're living like kings. That's what the scriptures say. They have more than heart could wish. So they're living like kings over here, And prior to these nations making that money, they wasn't living like that. Not for the most part. Some ones that were rich and stuff, they were able to do these things. But for the most part, that is the sentiment of America. That's a place that you go to live it up. To get the best of everything, to live a comfortable lifestyle. So it says, "And the fruits of thy soul lusted after are departed from thee, and all things which were dainty and goodly are departed from thee, and thou shalt find them no more at all. The merchants of these things, which were made rich by her, see, so they were made rich by her. How? Because they were selling their wares here. Shall stand afar off, because they're going to be in their country, for fear of her torment." Because the destruction of this place, America, is gonna be so devastating. When the Lord came down to deliver Israel out of Egypt, all the nations back there were shook. But this destruction is going to be worse, because it's going to be seen and felt throughout the whole planet. Weeping and wailing and saying, alas, alas, because alas, alas is a when you're in a worried state, you know, in a fearful, frightful state. Alas, alas, that great city that was clothed in fine linen and purple and scarlet and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls. See, because this place is a place of luxury, a place of undiscipline, you know, a place to live good. And that's why the Apostle John, when he saw the harlot in Revelation 17, he looked at it and he marveled at her. And the angel had to snap him out of it, you know, because of the way that she looked was a representation of how this place was going to be. And all nations that ever wanted to get rich on this planet had to come here to America. It says, for in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught. See, so it's only going to take 1 hour for the Lord to destroy this place. And every shipmaster and all accompanying ships and sailors and as many as trade by sea stood afar off. So now let's look up some of these words. Let's go to the word shipmaster. Kubernates, which is where you get the word government from, or to guide, you know, to lead. Steersman, helmsman, sailing master, because the majority of goods that's sold around the world are shipped out by ships. And that's why you have all these different ports around the world and shipping containers where they ship the goods in. And they come, the main place that they were coming to was America. But now that this place is falling and it's through, China and Singapore and other India and other places that have been made rich by the costliness of this place are now shunning away from this place. But they still do business, but they're self-sufficient now. They don't need this hoe no more. It says shipmaster, right? And let's look up the word company. Homelos, a multitude of men gathered together, a crowd, a throng. Why? Because you need men, you know, to work, to be able to move these wares around, because it's a lot. It says a company of ships, and the word ships is ployon, a ship, right? Now check this out. It says and sailors. Look up sailors. Nautus is where you get the word nautical or water, pertaining to the water. A sailor, seaman, mariner. So now what do the shipmasters and the company and ships and the sailors do? And as many as trade by sea, they trade by sea. And there's no other place on the planet until, you know, these nations got rich off of America that had something like that. And the Vatican, there are no nations going to the Vatican with their ships and bringing their goods there and selling their goods there and becoming rich off of the Vatican. That is a total flawed doctrine. It's madness. It says, stood afar off. And why are they going to stand afar off? Because they're going to be in their countries. And cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, what city is like unto this great city? Because there's no other place like it. The Vatican does not compare to America in her greatness at one time, so-called greatness. All nations were not going to sell their wares by ships to the Vatican. They were not made rich by the costliness of the Vatican. The Vatican is what, 2 miles? You know, it's a city-state that's like 2 miles. You know? And they cast dust on their heads and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, alas, alas. Yeah, because they're going to be sad that America's gone, but not because they give a damn about the hoe, but because they won't be able to sell their goods. That great city, see, wherein were made rich all that had ships in the sea. See? All that had ships in the sea. And this was the main port. These were the main ports that these people got paid off of in America before they became self-sufficient. By reason of what? Of her costliness. So let's look up the word costliness. The word costliness. Oops, did I hit the wrong one? Yeah, sure it did. What was that? Oh, desolate. Costliness. Temeotas, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Well, I know I'm not, but preciousness, costliness, an abundance of costly things. See, in a abundance of costly things. And when you go to these different wholesale districts, that's what you see. An abundance of costly things. And those costly things bring revenue, bring profit to these different nations. It says, rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets, for the Most High hath avenged you on her. And this is what we're waiting for. So when this place is destroyed, we're going to be rejoicing. Lord's will, we be the men that make it out of here. We're going to be rejoicing because this place needs to go. And a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone and cast it into the sea, saying, thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down and shall be found no more at all. Why? Because this place has a lot to pay for. And this violence that's coming is going to be devastating. Like it says here in Jeremiah 50:46, at the noise of the taking of Babylon, the earth is moved, and the cry is heard among the nations. So this going to be so devastating that people are going to be scared, shitting in their pants, dying from heart attacks, strokes, all of that, because the horror, the sheer horror of how this place is going to go down. It says, and the voice of harpers and musicians and pipers and trumpeters shall be heard no more at all in thee. Yeah, these musicians, these different, R&B, hip hop, gospel music, classical music, jazz music, rock and roll, and all these different instrumentals and classical pieces and all that, musicals. You ain't gonna hear that shit no more. It says, and no craftsman of whatever craft he be shall be found anymore in thee. Right, because the manufacturing of this place is going to be done, because it's going to be destroyed. And the sound of a millstone shall be heard no more at all in thee. And the light of a candle shall shine no more at all in thee. And the voice of the bridegroom and of the bride shall be heard no more at all in thee. Yep, no more marriages. For thy merchants were the great men of the earth. Now let's look up that word great men. I remember there being something there from a lesson that I had done years ago. Megastan. The grandees, magnates, nobles, chief men. See, so these are the ones that have the funds, the money to sell their wares here, of a city or a people, of the associates or courtiers of a king. So these great men were the ones that were selling their wares here in America. So let's go back up. It says, for by thy sorceries were all nations deceived. Yeah, because these nations that were deceived to get these riches and drink this Babylonian juice were put under a spell, using democracy and the different policies just so that they can get rich. And they were deceived by that. That's why when they start to see, most times they go back to their countries. It says, and in her was found the blood of prophets and of saints and of all that were slain upon the earth. Yeah, because America has a lot of blood on their hand. They killed the northern kingdom, Gad, Reuben, and the rest of the other tribes. And then they brought the southern kingdom here, Judah, Benjamin, Levi. There's a lot of blood that soaked the earth. A lot of blood that soaked the ground of America, of the saints, of the Israelites. And the Lord is going to deal with them and destroy them. That's why it says, rejoice over her. It says, rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets, for the Most High has avenged you on her. So the Most High is going to avenge us. So when this place is destroyed, that's going to be the avengement, the revenge that the Most High is going to get on these devils for what they did to us. Remember, I believe the 17th chapter speaks about in her was found the blood of the saints. You know, Daniel 7, they have worn out the saints of the Most High. You know, so the other, I didn't realize that that sound had went out. So it's about 10 minutes on the other lesson. The last 10 minutes you won't hear anything, but hopefully with that and this one it was edifying, and your brother I pray that your brothers learn and were edified with this lesson. Until the next time I say shalom. Soaked the earth, a lot of blood that soaked the ground of America, of the saints, of the Israelites, and the Lord is going to deal with them and destroy them. That's why it says rejoice over her. It says rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets.